Halo. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. We are live tonight, pukul 11.30 malam. Okay, thank you to all who's joining this FPL Jedi show untuk game week 9 transfer deadline. As we know, game week 9 punya deadline will be at 1:30 AM today. It's 11:30, kita ada lagi 2 jam sebelum deadline berlalu, men. Apa khabar?
Khabar baik, okay. Alhamdulillah. Pumped, ready to go.
Okay, good to hear from you, man. I think aku tak pasti macam mana kau punya team, but what we have tonight is we will look on the game week 9 punya team news. Okay, we will quickly gather all the news to prepare our team. Okay, kepada semua lah ya juga. And what we have today is kita akan run through juga, tengok seperti yang semua sedia maklum, midweek Azmin has tekan dia punya butang wildcard, so I'm eager to look how his lineup will be. And also insyaAllah I'll be doing some live transfer tonight. I haven't done my transfer yet. I have 2 free transfer to decide, and we shall see how's our show tonight. Okay, just to share a bit. Okay, today kita bertandang di Stadium Old Trafford, ya, untuk mengambil aura the biggest match for game week 9. As you all know, Manchester United akan menerima kunjungan pasukan paling hangat on fire, Liverpool, on game week 9. Okay, man. So as we all know, okay, we quickly deep dive untuk game week 9 punya fixture. What are the 10 fixture that we're going to have this week? Right, sekejap. Okay, as we all know, kita akan ada early kick-off tonight pukul 3 pagi, iaitu Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Arsenal baru saja main on Monday night. Dia kena main awal minggu ni pada malam Friday. That is the early kick-off at 3 AM. InsyaAllah, tak tahulah kalau aku masih segar lagi, aku tengok lah. I'm not sure about you, man. Okay. And then kita akan ada Saturday match, early kick-off at 7:30, Chelsea versus Norwich. Okay, ramai yang akan berminat dengan game tu, dan kita akan update especially recent news that we receive. Lukaku is out for the game. Okay. And then Crystal Palace versus Newcastle, Everton versus Watford, Leeds versus Wolves, and Southampton versus Burnley pukul 10 malam. Okay. Before midnight show pada Sabtu malam between Brighton against Man City. Okay. Looks favorable to Man City, but that is on paper. And then on Sunday itself, kita akan menyaksikan pukul 9 malam Brentford versus Leicester, and also West Ham versus Spurs, which actually both team playing in Europa League last night. And then Super Sunday match, Manchester United versus Liverpool, the biggest match ever. And the question will be, definitely kita akan run through whether Salah is the best captain pick of the week. Okay, man. So let us run through team news untuk Arsenal versus Aston Villa. As we all know, ada ramai juga yang mempunyai player seperti Saka, which has been subbed out because of injury during last game. Bagaimanakah team Arsenal dan juga Aston Villa, man? Any updates?
For Arsenal with Saka, the issue now is that as you said, it was because he had to be subbed out at halftime against Crystal Palace. But he was recently just pictured back in full training. But whether or not that is enough for him to start, we're not sure. Yeah, especially because it's quite an early turnaround for Arsenal, and I do have a bit of sympathy. Kesian juga Arsenal ni sebab patutnya macam mana schedule yang dia orang main Monday night, lepas tu main balik Friday night. A bit very a bit unfair lah, I would have to admit, for Arsenal. And if this will work out for Aston Villa, okay, in terms of injuries, so Saka tu tak sure. Other than that, the only mainstay, which is Granit Xhaka, is still injured lah. Everyone else is fine. Dari segi Aston Villa pula tak ada, and no major people missing out, someone like Trezeguet, so tak ada masalah. The only issue for them is in terms of formation, so a lot of issues because Bailey is back.
Okay.
So that's the key. One of their purchases during the summer, Bailey dah ada balik. So tapi macam mana dia nak integrate that into the squad tu is tak tahu lagi. We all tak tahu sebab sekarang ni dia ada Bailey, Buendia, Ings dengan Watkins.
A lot of option lah.
A lot of options. Tapi 4, you can't use all of them. I don't know how. It depends on how confident they are. Tapi I think the extra rest day for Aston Villa memang will help out Aston Villa. Yeah.
Okay. Good. So how you see this match, Arsenal lawan Aston Villa? Is it a tight game or open game, high scoring game?
Okay. A lot of talk in the media yang Arteta, walaupun recent weeks he has performed, but that Crystal Palace draw has put the pressure back on. Sebab apa? Sebab walaupun in the end they scored a draw, tapi they were in the back foot for most of the game. Even though they scored first, tapi Palace were in control for most of it, and it took a last minute goal by Lacazette to get the draw. So it's not enough untuk Arsenal, and especially Arsenal fans, because they expect Crystal Palace is a team they can win. Now against Aston Villa, they just one spot above each other in the table, I think. And Aston Villa pula coming off a very frustrating loss against Wolves, where they were leading 2-0 and then they are kalah 3-2. So they will look to make it, and they will have mesti dia orang dah tengok Crystal Palace punya game and against Arsenal and think that we can do the same to Arsenal. We have better players. Yeah, so and I think that Aston Villa will probably win this one. I actually think it'll be a bit of a goal scoring, so maybe 3-2 to Aston Villa.
Okay, all right. So you're looking at Arsenal putting boleh jadi concede goal lah. Okay, 3-2 to Aston Villa. Yeah, I understand yang Villa pun frustrated kalah 3-2 all in the last 10 minutes of the game. Wolves grab all 3 points. So maybe they need to make a comeback ataupun to bounce back lah from the defeat. Tapi Arsenal pun dia pun seri dengan Crystal Palace last game. Maybe Arteta also need to prove something. Both are having something to prove this game. So if you have Saka, would you keep him? Atau you transfer him out?
I mean, if I didn't have any issues with the other my squad, I would probably transfer him out. I think there are some good options at that price point that you can consider. Yeah, so I would.
Kau percaya tak? 2-3 minggu lepas ke aku ada consider nak bawa Arsenal asset masuk. Hari ni minggu ni aku dah tak terfikir dah. Macam tu sekali boleh quick turn around. Aku ada fikir Saka or Smith Rowe or the guide for the February fixture, but looks like I might not do it lah. Because of the recent performance.
Okay, to put into context, Arsenal, so far they kept 3 clean sheets in the league. Tapi those 3 clean sheets are against Norwich, Burnley dengan Brighton. So it's none of them are. Well, Brighton recently dah seem to have stopped scoring goals, but Burnley and Norwich are not. You couldn't say that's really cool that they managed to score, keep a clean sheet. So if at this point in time, because previously saya pun ada previously ada Tierney sebelum ni, tapi dah jual lah dah. Tapi I don't see why you would want to bring a Arsenal defense at this point.
Okay, fair. Looks like none from Arsenal or Villa will make it into your wildcard squad lah. We'll see later. Okay, so we go to the next match, which is Chelsea versus Norwich. Team aku duk fikir-fikir, this is the right time to bring in Lukaku in. especially Ronaldo has been performing badly for the past few weeks. And then Lukaku has the right match. In the end, dia injured during Champions League midweek. On top of that, Werner juga declared out by Tuchel this week. So aku pun dah tak karuan who's the right people to replace Ronaldo, but we will talk later. So what's the latest news in Chelsea camp?
Okay, so at the moment that Pulisic previously memang he's still out with the ankle issue. Sekarang ni Lukaku and Werner dua-dua ankle issue juga. So that's how ankle issue ni masalah for Chelsea at the moment. And the thing is with Tuchel tak semestinya kita tak boleh nak buat kesimpulan easily kalau especially for those rotating players. Kalau midfield dia during midweek dia start means that weekend dia takkan start. Kita tak tahu. We cannot confirm that. And sebab itulah a bit tough kalau nak pick up players macam James or Alonso. Tapi in terms of the replacement, yeah, it looks like they have to start Havertz to replace Lukaku, so it's fine. So Havertz and Mason Mount kat belakang, but they don't have enough attack, I think, and that's why I'm worried about the wing backs because Alonso and James are generally lagi more attacking lah compared to Chilwell and maybe Hudson-Odoi or Azpilicueta. Tapi it's hard. And
so who's the player Chelsea player? I expect you bring some asset player, Chelsea player to come in for your World Cup. Who's your thinking?
Okay, so after a lot of thinking, in the end, I brought in Rudiger as a safe defense pick, and
Rudiger declare fit lah untuk start, is it?
Yes, he's fine. Last week dia not ready, ada issue masa play for Germany kan, so sekarang he's fine. Then Havertz, I brought in Havertz.
Havertz also in your thinking, okay.
Yeah, and the other person is Chilwell.
Okay. Itu Brian ada kata Mason Mount to shine. Tak ada nak terfikir dia bawa dia masuk. Cheaper than Havertz.
Yeah, I mean because he's cheaper than Havertz, but Havertz will typically be in an out of position role. So I'm more keen on that. Yeah. And we've seen how effective he was last season. Yeah. He was being able to score goals. Cuma right now the problem is again Werner, dia punya support dia tak ada. Werner, Pulisic semua tak ada. Yeah, so even if I brought in Chelsea and Chelsea attacker, I probably wouldn't captain them. Yeah, even though it is against Norwich.
Okay. So ada persoalan. Johan tanya, Kovacic adakah dia aset yang bagus juga untuk di-consider masuk dalam team?
Okay, Kovacic ni memang satu issue lah because technically speaking he isn't really an attacking midfielder, so it's a bit more on the defensive box to box. Tapi yalah sebab he has been recently scored kan, he has scored a couple of goals and to put himself in. Tapi I still wouldn't put him in, so
Alright, good. Kalau Brian ada kata long run Mason, Havertz short term, I think maybe he's right. I think if let's say people are thinking to bring in Chelsea asset, Havertz definitely a good punt this week, especially or the next few weeks matches, because Tuchel kata Lukaku and Werner might miss some matches. So I think it's a good short-term plan. But I won't deter you from picking Mason if you don't have the money to bring in Havertz. That's what I think.
Okay. And I have to say that even if Lukaku comes back, that doesn't necessarily mean that Havertz still start main. If Havertz can really perform in these next few matches, I can see why wouldn't he start together dengan Lukaku. So it's something we'll have to see.
Okay, fair. Anything to highlight, Norwich, or everything is fine?
Okay, Norwich, okay. So the reason I also mentioned that we wouldn't captain, I wouldn't captain a Chelsea player, and I think there's quite a few who are captaining Havertz for this one.
Yep.
It's just that first Norwich defense has improved, although to be fair, they played against Brighton and I can't remember, was it Burnley? Yeah, so but they managed to keep clean sheet, so at least had a bit more confidence there in terms of the defense. So maybe they'll be tougher this time. Yeah, so yeah, but other than that,
I understand Norwich has been keeping clean sheet for the past 2 games, so ada kemungkinan this is not a total blowout lah. Mungkin it's not like 5-0 punya game, maybe maximum 3-0.
Correct, and because you also have to take into factor that Chelsea pun are missing the key attack.
Yeah. Okay, fair. All right. I think we go to next game. Crystal Palace lawan Newcastle. Okay, Crystal Palace had a good match last week, iaitu 2-2 dengan Arsenal. Benteke and Edward did manage to get a goal. Okay, Newcastle at the same time welcome back Callum Wilson and he managed to get a goal. So what's the latest news in both camp?
Okay, so Zaha is back. Previously he was ill against in the previous match, and it tells you a bit about Arsenal that even though Zaha tak main for Crystal Palace, Arsenal still considered to. But never mind, we go back to Crystal Palace and you saw Benteke's goal lawan Arsenal. It was, for me, it was like, wow, I didn't think Benteke could do that anymore. Tapi, it was a nice turn and shoot and score the goal. But in the end, I still don't think he'll start. I think it'll be Zaha, Eduardo, and Ayew up front. Anyway, even though he scored. Yeah. But other than that, no key injuries except for Eze tu, which is dah lama dah out anyway.
Okay.
But for Newcastle, it's a bit more interesting because they've just lost their manager, so now it's an issue. In terms of the key players, I mean most of their players are back. That's the thing. So except for the main keeper Dubravka, the first choice keeper is still out, but Wilson,
so Dalo will start lah.
Cuba tu lah, but with a full strength team pun they still macam disiplin tak ada. Hari tu siapa ni? John Joe Shelby came in as a sub and got
kena kat merah pula.
I mean, it goes to show there's a problem. And then I'm not sure if anyone's heard, but I'm sure someone's heard about the rumor that Isaac Hayden dengan Jamal Lascelles gaduh after the match. They had a bust up. So tak tahu. I assume that's settled, but it does show that there are issues in that Newcastle camp. Yeah.
So ramai kata this match is expecting Crystal Palace to get all the 3 points and this is the asset that if you wildcarding can also bring in lah. Contoh macam Edward or Mima Gallagher, even Zaha is declared fit like you mentioned. Is it a worth thing to do?
Yeah, on the basis of this first match alone, yes. But actually, in the sense of the long term, it's not good because Crystal Palace punya fixtures are not great. I think next week they play Manchester City, for example. So memang it's. I mean, because in my first wildcard draft, I had Gallagher. I still had maintained Gallagher. Obviously, I'm a bit attracted for Gallagher ni lah. Tapi itulah, in the end I didn't, because of that long term.
Okay. Alright.
Long term wise,
so kalau kata ni you keep Gallagher, maybe you can get instant points lah kan against Newcastle with leaking goals lah. But then Man City, then home to Wolves, away to Burnley, home to Aston Villa, so it's a mix. But I don't know, if you have one of those assets, maybe can keep for this game especially lah.
Yeah, I may look after. I'll probably look back at Crystal Palace after they play Manchester City, so we'll see.
Okay, fair. All right. So we go to the next match. Everton lawan Watford. Watford kalah 5-0 last week dengan Liverpool. Ranieri sure tak puas hati and he definitely wants a quick bounce back. For Everton, they also lost 1-0 dengan West Ham last week at home. They are playing home again this week. I'm not sure whether DC Richarlison are back. So what's the latest news there?
So apparently Richarlison has recovered. Cuma is now a question of match fitness lah for him. DCL is still out lah. Tapi other than that tak ada. So not, I mean, so it's an issue for that defense. Pickford, you could have done much better, and in terms of the organization of the defense as a whole. But at the same time, Doucouré pun out. For me, Doucouré is very important in that midfield, both as a box-to-box midfielder. Other than that, who else is out? Yerry Mina is out. Yeah, also the first choice centre back together with Keane, tapi Keane adalah. So
Keane
there's a
ada.
bit of disruption in the lineup for Everton, and that's going to hurt them. Watford, okay, so Ranieri has had another week. So I don't think anything's changed with regards to their injury. So now it's a case of whether, they found the strategy yet to do it.
Okay.
But I can see Watford scoring against Everton. So if those
people like me, managers like me who has Sa, should I keep him?
I think you should keep him. Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Good to hear that. But I'm still considering him to be out. But later we talk. So for Everton, if let's say you still have Townsend or Gray, I think it's a keep for this match.
Simpan. Jangan tak simpan.
Okay, good. So we are expecting Everton to score, but also Watford can also.
I think it'll be a score. It might be a score draw.
Okay, all right. Okay, fair. Let's go to the match Leeds lawan Wolves. Okay, ramai juga nak berminat nak tahu whether Rafinha is fit enough to start this game, and also apa perkembangan terbaru on Jimenez, because we heard some rumours yang mengatakan he hasn't start training, and Bruno Lage ada bagi some leave untuk Jimenez rehat sebab international fixture yang dia main. So what's new? Yep.
I don't know. Yeah, this one is quite weird. Sebab dia kata kasih rehat, tapi memang last week pun, dia dah rehat dah. So why is there an issue suddenly? And he was on the bench against who did they play?
Some contradict news, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is a bit contradicting. So I don't know. It is a problem because Huang, especially even for those who have Huang, because we saw last week kalau Jimenez tak ada, Huang pun macam kurang efektif. So macam kehadiran Huang, Jimenez helps Huang to perform. So it's hard. I don't know what's going on there. Tapi if I already had Jimenez, I probably just keep him and play him and hope he starts.
Yep.
But I wouldn't buy him at this point in time.
Okay, so I predict Jimenez will not make your cut lah. Okay.
You are right.
Okay. So Rafinha okay.
Rafinha okay. He's good to go. And
okay.
we saw Leeds play last week, and I think now with Rafinha back, it'll be much better. So now it's a question of whether Leeds can find the attacking power. Yeah. Okay. So they won against Watford in game week 7, and then in game week 8 they lost 1-0 against Southampton, but that was just because they're missing the key attack. But now at least Rafinha is back, so it could be a problem.
Kalau confirm Rafinha is back, ini akan melegakan ramai FPL managers lah. Definitely I rasa ramai juga yang ada dia. Okay.
Yep.
So it's good. Tapi Bamford still out, I suppose. So Rodrigo might start again up front.
Yeah. But whoever has Rafinha, good. Yeah, I mean, keep it. He is the key man. He is the main man for Leeds United. All the attack will go through him.
Alright. Let's go to next match. Southampton lawan Burnley. Seperti yang semua tahu, Armstrong, okay, Adam Armstrong, bukan Stuart, Adam Armstrong did not start and even masuk, dia langsung tak main, kat bench. So some of managers has him. So apakah perkembangan terbaru? Adakah ada ura-ura Armstrong ni akan start this game ataupun Broja akan start lagi?
No, it's hard to tell this one actually, because I think we talked about how Broja came in because there was a injury with Cik Adam, muscle issue. Tapi itulah, but then Broja started, Cik Adam tak ada, and Armstrong pun didn't start. So now it's tough, especially for those who brought in Adam Armstrong on the wildcard last week. And if you remember last week, saya punya wildcard draft pun ada Adam Armstrong. Sekali langsung tak main, so at least didn't burn me there lah. So it's I again, this one is tough call to determine. Okay, in terms of fantasy picks, obviously Livramento memang, if you have him, play him. You have him, it's good.
But, tapi ramai akan confirm dia letak first bench lah. Itulah Livramento. Dia tak akan bagi main.
Yeah, but I noticed that people are starting to bring in Broja. I don't know if that is the right call. Is that because of course they scored 1-0, but is that and he scored the goal, but is that enough to secure a seat? I'm not sure. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So how about Burnley? I think Burnley last week tak main sebab kena COVID. Is he back?
Yes. He's back. He's okay. Cuma there's still a question as to whether he would play, because it's about match fitness. Takut dia recovered from COVID tu, memang dah recover. Tapi whether or not it has impacted on his fitness tu satu cerita lain lah. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because I don't think people are going for Burnley players anyway. Because Southampton punya defense is still strong, quite decent. And is in attack they have problems, but I don't think it's good enough for us to not consider Burnley defenders either.
Okay, Brian kata Broja looks lively. I agree, but now we are not sure lah. Dia ada risk lah, whether Broja or maybe Armstrong is back in the lineup. So if let's say kalau aku ada Armstrong, I think I give Armstrong another week, tengok macam mana. Tapi kalau confirm dia langsung tak main this week, I think his time is up.
Yeah, if you have the Armstrong, you might as well keep him. But it's a question now, because Southampton won last week, but again, it was only a 1-0 win against Leeds, who we would probably expect to see them to score. So it does. If you don't have Southampton assets, even though they have a good run of fixtures, is it the time to bring it? Do you still want to bring in, because they still have issues to score? So although I like the fixtures a lot, but then if they're not taking advantage by the goal scoring, then I think there are other better options.
Okay, fair. Mungkin kena tunggu JWP balik next week kot, baru kita tengok Southampton bertenaga balik.
Yeah, and the other thing is that Stuart Armstrong also didn't start; he was on the bench, so I'm not sure what Hasselhoff will do.
Okay, fair. There's a lot of uncertainty there lah. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to next match, Brighton lawan Man City. Saya percaya ramai yang akan explore untuk bawa Man City asset masuk, macam contoh Foden, Grealish. If you have the money, maybe Lukaku punya injury ni membuka ruang untuk membawa KDB masuk. Macam contoh Min kata, bawa Broja ganti Lukaku, extra money upgrade midfielder and jadi KDB. Oh, bagus juga tu. Apa pendapat?
Okay. See, the thing with Manchester City problems. One is of course the rotation issue. I've been burnt last week badly by Grealish missing in action. And the other thing is of course the rotation. Yeah, because they played in the Champions League. Who's gonna start? And the number two is the fact that Brighton are not easy opponents in terms of their defensive. Brighton defensiveness is quite strong. Although they haven't scored in the last couple of weeks, but they haven't conceded either. They still kept clean sheets. So they are one of the best defense teams at the moment, still are. So even though Manchester City have the advantage, I don't think it's going to be a high goal scoring match either.
Okay, Brody ada soalan. If you had to guess, will Cancelo start? Apa jawapan kau?
Yes. For me, he will start. Yeah. I think Cancelo is one of the certainties together with Diaz, in that defense. So I'm pretty confident that they will start.
Okay,
Cancelo will start.
sebab I know why Brody ask that, because dia ada concern Cancelo start both game. So mungkin ada chance ke dia direhatkan lawan Brighton ni. Possibility tu ada, sebab mungkin dia start Kyle Walker akhir belah kiri ke Zinchenko, kalau sihat dia boleh main.
Yeah,
So I feel
but we tried to apply this logic to Foden. He played against Liverpool, then he played 90 minutes in two international matches. Then he came back and people expected the bench. He still started. And then midweek Champions League, he thought he'd be benched. He still started. So it's hard to apply this logic to Manchester City. So for me, it's really about the form of the players. I think if the form is there,
macam Min katalah Cancelo did score midweek lawan Champions League lagilah. Kenapa dia tak score lawan Premier League, pergi score Champions League pula? Score lah yang penting ni. Champions League lantak lah kan. But definitely I will start him. Kalau ada Cancelo, we definitely start him. But kena siap bench lah first sub tu. Kalau ada Livramento your first sub, itu you punya backup, that's it lah.
Yeah, so the good thing with Pep is that he won't bring in key players for substitutions.
Yep, that is my advice. I think I would definitely play my expensive defender if you have TA, Rudiger, Chilwell, Diaz, Cancelo, and just prepare your bench.
Okay, so I think Brody Murray also mentioned about Zinchenko. So I think Zinchenko will start to see play midweek in the League Cup for now.
Oh yeah, next week.
Yeah, and one thing with Brighton for this week is that for me Brighton is a hard matchup, so he will want his best players, and I think that Cancelo is wins over Zinchenko for this particular match.
Okay, good. We go to the next match, Brentford lawan Leicester. Just to share lah, since Lukaku has been declared injured and will not play this week, Vardy is the most hottest asset people bringing to replace Lukaku. Okay, Ronaldo and Lukaku is the top two players transferred out. Vardy and I forgot the other guy is the most transferred in. Okay, but Vardy definitely 200,000 managers have been bringing him in this week, and most probably I and also Azmi, I'm not sure, later we reveal our team. We might bring him too to replace Ronaldo or Lukaku. So what's the situation in Brentford and Leicester camp? Aku ada dengar macam injured ke apa macam tu.
Okay, firstly with Brentford, that super sub that we talked about, Wissa, he's injured. So that theory about reforming the squad doesn't apply anymore, because since Wissa is injured anyway. So other than that, most of Brentford's main players that they've been playing with this season, semua is there. So there shouldn't be any difference. So Mbeumo and Tony will continue to be the spearhead in attack. Then in terms of Leicester, so I'm not sure if you know that who's that guy? Daka. Yeah, so he scored 4 goals midweek against Spartak Moscow. 4-3, and he scored all 4 goals.
Wow,
obviously, yeah. Okay. But I don't think Daka will displace Iheanacho or Vardy. I think Iheanacho is in good form, even though he didn't score any goals, but he was instrumental in helping to bring about those goals. And I think Iheanacho and Vardy are getting into a rhythm in terms of their partnership, and which is something that I've been pushing for so long. Having said that, okay, so wait. In terms of injuries, Tielemans ada injury doubt. We're not sure. Perez came in, so he's fine. But the problem I have is, with a lot of people bringing Vardy in, is that I don't understand, because Brentford are not easy. It's not an easy matchup either. Okay, Brentford are very strong defensively. I think they've only conceded 3 goals once, which is against Liverpool, and it's Liverpool again. So other than aside from they have never conceded just 2 goals. They've only conceded one goal, like 4 times, and the rest have been clean sheets. So they're not defensively have issues. Brentford are playing at home, and I sometimes I feel that this move to Vardy is simply because Lukaku is injured. If Lukaku wasn't injured, no one would consider Vardy. But to be fair, Vardy is in form. It seems like he can score whoever he plays against. I just think that it might not be the right time to bring him in. Yeah, I think there are
Okay,
other options.
saya ada soalan. You guys think James will start tomorrow? I think dia kata Reece James kot, Chelsea.
Yes. Yeah.
Mahal.
Justin James is still injured lah. Reece James, memang this is a huge dilemma, I think, for the FPL community, because if he starts, he's capable of bringing in FPL points against Norwich, and the argument there is that there is an argument that he will start because Chelsea are short of attacking players. Yeah. So, and by the same definition, Alonso should start over Chilwell. But-
Yeah.
But is this gonna happen? Okay, so we've got this. William C says that if you mean Reece James, then yep. So William thinks that he will start, and William is a Chelsea fan, if I understand correctly. So he's quite confident of that, I think. And yeah, so
Okay.
it's I just feel that Tuchel is starting to turn into Pep a bit in terms of rotation. But he may be forced to if he feels he doesn't have enough options in attack.
Okay. Fair. Let's go to West Ham versus Spurs. Okay. Both ramai definitely ada Antonio, Benrahma, they still ada managers banyak ada this kind of player. Aku ada tengok lagi, aku tengok line up saja. I think Antonio and Benrahma tak start this game. They start Bowen up front. So that's good news if they say whether they're playing this week. Spurs also, they're fielding like some random player second fringe so-called, and then mereka kalah. So I think the likes of Kane or Son, all the main players will start this game. So we expect a good London derby punya match lah. Any news for both camp?
Okay, for West Ham, no, everyone's fit, so everyone's good to go. For Spurs, I think it's also Kane, others, no one important. Alderweireld is injured, but then he's not first choice now anyway. So they pretty much fit. So it's an interesting matchup, this one. I can see it going either way, but it could easily end up as a 0-0 draw. And again, this is a case with Kane, because when I'm doing up my wild card, because a lot of people were who to deal with Lukaku injury, they're bringing in Kane. Yeah, so
Okay,
again, just like Vardy, is this the right time? Because West Ham aren't exactly conceding a lot of goals either.
Okay.
So West Ham, and they seem to be balancing their Europa commitments quite well. But at the same time, it doesn't matter because Spurs also have Europa Conference commitments. But then I think it was the squad that played in the Europa Conference was a totally different squad than the one that played in the Premier League. So it's a question now, because last week Kane scored. So will Kane now start? Because we've always known that Kane has been a late starter for the season. This season has been the latest. But will that goal from last week, now he'll start scoring? And that's why a lot of people are banking and bringing him in.
Yeah, so I think either you have Lukaku or Ronaldo, you dah Ichi dah tukar, definitely for Lukaku punya owner. So the next best premier is Kane or Vardy lah. If we see the fixture, macam contoh midweek kita ada run through, Vardy could have a better run now. Sokola, Brentford, then home Arsenal, okay, then away to Leeds tak silap. Leeds or Norwich, I lupa. And then, but for Spurs, a bit tough. This week, West Ham. Next week, Manchester United. And then away to Everton before their is up. So that can be a transition, or you can just simply bank in on Kane to perform, because Kane is at 6% now. Vardy has 25% ownership. So kalau you ride on Kane awal, maybe you can take advantage from others. But those are the options that we have.
Yeah.
Or you can go down lah a bit, like Jimenez and so on, if you trust them.
Okay, but at the same time, let's while we're on that matchup, West Ham versus Spurs, let's talk a bit about West Ham because uh, Antonio hasn't been scoring.
Okay, fair.
Is there a case for moving him on? So he scored against Leeds, against Brentford. He didn't score against Everton. Hasn't scored and didn't assist either. So West Ham yang goals macam dry up sikit in terms of they no longer the main people who are scoring goals. So other people stepped in to score goal. Bowen, So although they still seem to be able to juggle the Europa commitments, but they not it's not the Antonio isn't as involved as he used to be. So he may not be as essential, and the matchups. I wouldn't say they're bad either. Spurs this week is I don't know so. Aston Villa next, and then after that is Liverpool, Wolves, followed by Manchester City. So those three are tough. So I don't know. Yeah,
Fair,
it might
fair,
be hard for Antonio.
fair statement. There will be more headache for managers to decide. Okay, let's go the biggest match of the week. Manchester United level Liverpool. Manchester not really in the right form, especially last week kalah 4-2 dengan Leicester. Liverpool on a winning streak, banging 5 goal last week lawan Watford. Is this so-called easy win for Liverpool lawan Manchester? Manchester United might not be happy lah with your answer if they say.
I know it says a lot that about either Manchester United defense or Liverpool's attack that people are FPL community or many are captaining Salah regardless, of the matchup. So, but obviously Salah is in very hot form, but Manchester United's defense isn't. Let's face it, Manchester United haven't scored. I haven't kept the clean sheet.
Ya, betul. Aku owner show, aku tahulah perasaan tu.
Well, you and many others, yeah. So I'm not keen on any Manchester United players. So as you know, I wildcarded, so they're all gone now.
Is Ronaldo times up if you have him?
Okay, so I see a couple
okay,
of comments.
Bagi dia peluang. The last big match. This is where Ronaldo will perform on the big occasion.
I mean, he is up for it. I mean, that one I can't deny that Ronaldo, he'll be up for it for the big occasion. But is everyone else behind him up for it as well?
Okay. Dengar Bruno macam doubt, betul ke? Aku tak tahu.
Bruno Fernandes has turned out as a doubt. So if he's not around, gosh, that really is a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
And at the same, other than that, Rashford and Martial, okay lah, fine. But Rashford, who came back with a bang and has been doing well, he might be injury issue as well.
Okay.
So it's a bit tough, because then of course you have Greenwood, Pogba, who hasn't been there, Fred, who hasn't been there, so it's going to be hard for Manchester United, and this is a game that Klopp will want to set a stamp into Ole's grave to push Ole further into the brink.
Yalah, so ramai juga, I mean not too biased to anyone, aku pun ramai juga cousin and friends Manchester United fan, they also thinks that maybe it's time for Ole to go, but he always hang on to his job. Tapi kalau Liverpool menang lawan Manchester game ni, so it will be the different conversation next week.
I mean, win-loss record for the season is one thing, but then this is a grudge match that fans will want Manchester United to win. Fans will want Liverpool to win. So,
yes.
So we saw. So William mentioned battle in mid will be key. Yes, that's right.
Yep.
So, but are we looking at Matic starting for Manchester United because he's been far off. he's going to lose that big time because Fabinho is back from last week he didn't play. So Fabinho's back, and then we have Henderson, and Naby Keita. They won't need to play Milner anymore. So he gets to rest. So Liverpool's midfield will win definitely. I'm convinced that.
Alright, I think we already wrap up all the matches. Ada satu question pasal who's the best captain pick for this week. Okay, kita dah cerita a bit, although kita dah cerita in midweek, which is Lukaku versus Salah. But since Lukaku already injured, ramai dah mengatakan Salah is the best captain of this week, despite lawan Manchester United, one of the top 6 club in Premier League. Okay, selalu kalau macam ni mesti rating dia atau ni warna merah lah kan, okay, dia punya fixture. But Chelsea versus Norwich is another key player yang mungkin boleh come into thinking to captain, is like you mentioned, Havertz. Okay, so who's the best captain option for you if let's say Salah versus Havertz?
So it's still Salah. Yeah, it's just that Chelsea haven't played without Lukaku yet since the start of the season, since the first couple of matches. So I'm not confident. And let's face it, Chelsea aren't free scoring. They haven't really scored that many goals, even though they win. Yeah, so I can't see it as them as captaincy material, even if it's against Norwich.
Okay, fair. Okay.
Yeah.
So nak menjawab soalan siapa tadi ada tanya, Harish tanya, I think if let's say you want to do safe pick captain, definitely ramai yang ada Salah. I think 60% ownership right now. So kalau katakanlah you tak captain Salah, you captain katalah Havertz, and Havertz did not perform, Salah score another double digit. He has been like 5 double digit good setakat game week 8, so nobody has that kind of form. He's on penalty. Liverpool also performing. So if let's say you don't captain, I think Azmin dah ada example, dia tak captain last week Salah. So what happened if let's say he perform, Havertz doesn't perform, your ranking definitely go down gila-gila. Okay, but in other thinking is Havertz is a good differential point this week. Tiba-tiba kata kalau Salah doesn't perform, Havertz at 8% pun ownership, he katalah dapat 2 goals, brace atau hat-trick, you punya ranking gila-gila up if you are doing a bit of chasing lah. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I think you need to decide whether you want to just go with the flow or try to be a bit different and determine where your difference is. But I just feel that obviously I've been burnt last week, as you mentioned. So I think that
it's hard to bet against Salah. Itu saja ialah. He's on fire. He's taking penalty. During midweek score lagi kan?
Yes, he did. Yeah, 1 penalty and 1 goal.
I also macam nak jugalah try captain different player, tapi the risk is high if let's say Salah perform and your captain doesn't perform.
I think we need to look for differentials elsewhere. Can I just mention that Lukman mentioned that VDB should get his chance to start. So I don't know what's going on between Ole and VDB, but I don't see it. I think there's some stubbornness with Ole that he's not going to admit it. So if VDB may come in for a sub, but if VDB hasn't started any match this season, how would you expect Ole to throw him in against Liverpool just like that? Because for me it's clear that Ole doesn't like or trust VDB. Even he doesn't even get enough minutes as a sub. So and no doubt for me he's a quality player in terms of the attack. He will perform, but I feel that the problem now is that defense. Yeah, and he may shore up with McTominay and Matic rather than have VDB, because Pogba can't be trusted to defend either. So you're looking at Liverpool whacking them, and so as much as I'd like to see VDB play, I can't see it. Not
Betul
with
dah.
Ole.
Kalau aku jadi Ole pun pening juga. Aku ada banyak big names. Pogba, Bruno, Sancho. Consider big sebab big price tag. Rashford now coming back.
Yeah.
So banyak
but,
dilema.
but here's the need. If Ole has no choice, if Fernandes is out, then VDB's
Should start.
chance, yeah, because
Lingard
he's
pun
not.
tak dapat masuk.
Apa dia? Sorry.
Lingard pun tak dapat main.
Well,
Dia pun has been scoring goals coming as a sub. So dia pun tak dapat chance.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, you're absolutely right because I love Lingard I really love Lingard to bits, and I get really frustrated when I don't see him getting enough.
Aku
chances.
percaya dalam kita punya show ni ramai juga Manchester Union fan yang tengok. Okay, dia pun can share your point of view. But kalau siapa ada, aku tengok ada orang kata consider nak captain Ronaldo. Kalau kau tanya aku, the past few weeks yang aku ada ni, dia tak ni even kena bench sekali aku captain dia, aku dah serik lah. Okay. So I think kita akan go through some of your Q&A later. Why not? If this is the time to see Azmin punya wildcard team, I'm really eager to see who's in. He needs to decide. Kita berapa jam tinggal? Sejam lagi, bro.
Sejam lagi. Okay. Alright. Okay. So I'll share my team. Yeah.
Alright. Go ahead.
Let me find the share button.
Yes, silakan.
Let me know when you can see it.
Okay. It's loading.
Alright.
Yeah, I can see it now. Zoom sikit bang, boleh? Nampak sikit.
Oh, zoom lagi.
Kalau boleh lah. Cantik.
Okay. Alright. So okay, I'll start with the goalie. So which the goalie tells you a bit as to why I'm not a fan of Vardy. So I've actually brought in Raya as my keeper now to replace Sanchez. So I feel that Raya Brentford has a good run of matches where they can keep clean sheets. Then okay, so Rudiger, I've chosen Rudiger. Previously I had James, but with all the uncertainty and I'm tired of having to deal with people like Pep and now Tuchel, so I've decided to just have Rudiger, which I feel is the safest pick. Last week he didn't start, but because he was because of internationalization, tapi dia dah back. Cancelo, yeah. So this answers the question someone asked about Cancelo, and yeah, I have him in my team. TA, of course. And finally, Chilwell. To be fair, among the four main defenders in my first 11, Chilwell is the one I'm uncertain about in terms, at least for this week. I think overall he is the better player than Alonso, but for this week I'm not sure. And it's a risk because Tuchel does have a habit. Those of you last week who had Reece James saw him come in for a couple of minutes. So unlike Pep, who doesn't bring in these popular FPL players, for a cameo, unless unless they need to actually score goals, so this doesn't happen with Chelsea. Okay, then you have Havertz. So yeah, I'm game on having Havertz. I think playing out of position, I think he's a good pick. Mbeumo fill in the slot, and I just want to mention that for Brentford, I maxed out on Brentford. Raya, Mbeumo, Tony. For their price, they great players.
Yep. Then we have some good fixture coming up one. Yep.
Yeah, this style of play is great for fantasy football points. Okay, then Rafinha, who I'm glad to welcome back into my team. He is the main man for Leeds, and regardless of the opposition, he will be he's capable of scoring and bringing FPL points. Salah as my main midfield for so I also want Salah is entrenched, and I've captained him as mentioned earlier. Then in the strike force, I have Tony, and Tony is not, a lot of people also have Tony. I've been jealous.
Can we say welcome back, Tony, to your team?
Yeah. Yes, welcome back after I had him for the first couple of weeks. And then finally, the pick that was the hardest for me to decide, and who knows, it might change, is that striker pick, which is I've decided of Ings, because I feel that Arsenal's defense is more suspect than it looks, and the Crystal Palace match last week confirmed it. I considered plenty of other people here. I considered Kane. I did consider Kane and Vardy. I even considered Aubameyang, but I decided that Ings, especially with Bailey back, I think Aston Villa's attack is going to look much more stronger. And one thing, they'll be itching to fix their issue with what happened last week. But at the same time, in the past last season and the season before, Dean Smith or Aston Villa have won against Arsenal. So Arsenal aren't exactly, for Arsenal isn't exactly great. And I mentioned earlier that Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's under pressure again after what happened at Crystal Palace. So I think Aston Villa can exploit that. Then bench fillers, Foster, Livramento, as you mentioned, first sub. Huang goes in as the second. And the thing is, I wanted to put Huang as my first sub, but because now this news about Jimenez, because I feel that Huang will work best if Jimenez is around. Without Jimenez, Huang will struggle, so I moved into the second sub. And the third is for Sissoko. Now, to be fair, I have quite a few units left because I want to make it easy for me to move to Kane or Son later on.
Berapa lagi in the bank?
Berapa lagi? Okay, this is gonna be a surprise, and I don't recommend people following me. But if you look at my transfers,
okay,
see how much I have. I got 4.9.
Banyak duit, bang.
It's quite a lot. I just feel that, but I've never been I wouldn't say never, but recently I do feel that you don't really necessarily have to spend all the units. I feel if there are good picks, then you should pick them. And there's a lot of disagreement with whether or not Ings is a better pick or go for Kane immediately. So by the time game week 12, he'll do well.
You can do that. You can do that.
I can. I can go Ings to Kane just like that. But for me, because I just felt that the Spurs West Ham matchup isn't great, and I know that I think William mentioned that it's a derby, so there may be lots of goals in it, but I don't see it. So I'm willing to wait out for Kane and see whether he really does gain back his form. But to be fair, he has been scoring, just not in the Premier League. He scored in the Europa Conference. And in the League Cup. Yeah, he's finding it hard. So I think that's it. The last one was Sissoko. So
Sissoko is your 4.5 filler lah in midfield.
4.5 filler, but he is capable of. He does start. So just leave him in. So that's it. Any comments?
Overall, I think kat sini actually quite strong juga. Without that 4.9 million yang kau kata tadi, aku kata, ini pun dah a good team lah. Ings is under radar. I like I run through dia punya fixture. It's okay. It's not that bad. So Aston Villa is an attacking team. With Watkins along his side, there is always plenty of chances for him untuk score goals and create chances for him. And maybe Ings on penalty or Watkins, I'm not too sure. But if let's say he's really on penalty, then definitely he's a good pick.
He's not though. I think El Ghazi is on penalties. Yeah. So
okay, but if let's say El Ghazi not playing, is he the one? The next one?
Yeah, it's possible that El Ghazi may not see enough minutes because Bailey if Bailey plays, then I suspect El Ghazi will be the one to make way, which will mean Ings will be on penalties. Yeah. So we'll see. That's one we'll find out. Hopefully, we'll get some early team news later. I hope. Yeah. Before the deadline.
Okay. The rest of the team, aku rasa Cancelo good. I have him. TAA also good. Rudiger I have. Chilwell is your so-called risky pick, but if let's say he's playing, he's a good player to have. Kalau Chilwell tak main, Livramento coming in. So I like that kind of option. But
go ahead.
Kalau katakanlah aku ada that kind of money, I really tempted to bring Kane in lah instead of Ings. Itu sajalah. That's all my thinking.
Fair enough. You and other people I've talked to all feel like, why not, you should just bring in Kane, immediately.
If I
Just-
have the money, like you mentioned, I will do it lah.
I just want to see some more form from Kane before I consider it.
Fair. I understand. That's my own judgment lah. Other than that, I think okay, Mbomo I like. I think he's a better pick than Tony. But if we have complement between each other, is good. Havertz is the punt pick, which I will run through my team next, which I also thinking of to bring him in. Okay.
Yep.
I think almost perfect.
Cool.
Okay. Brian says good luck. He's going off. All right.
Okay, thanks,
So,
William.
let me run through my team, I suppose. Okay.
Yep.
So you're almost logged in, right? You have another one hour to think if you want to change anything. If you ask me, I'll straight go to Kane instead of Ings. Yeah. Okay. Let's run through my team. I share. Oh. Control plus. Nampak, man?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, I can't see anything.
Okay. Belum appear kot. Tak ada?
No, I don't see it.
Okay. Will I show here? Okay.
You should. Okay.
All right. This one better?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. I have 2 free transfer. No money in the bank, but choices to make. The one thing I will do is taking out Ronaldo. Okay.
Yeah.
But my first thinking is to Lukaku lah, but now it will be different. I have option. I like Vardy or Kane, although Azmi might not like the option, but I feel Vardy also is the most hottest forwards right now. He's the highest scoring despite the fixture. Maybe it will be tough, but if let's say Leicester score, it will be Vardy, and if let's say Spurs score, is either Son or Kane will be in the goal involvement. Okay. So the other things is to decide. I think I want to keluarkan Shaw definitely, but if let's say I don't need to, if I have the fund to just bring in one midfielder and also a striker, I don't need to take -4 to take out Shaw, but we'll see how. So this is my thinking. My first thinking is to bring in Vardy, okay, and then take out Sa for Havertz, okay.
You can't. You
But
run out of.
I short
Yeah.
of 0.1.
Was it because Havertz price increased today?
I think Vardy kot 8.1 ni
Vardy,
maybe
no,
dia,
Vardy.
since ramai orang bawa masuk, dia harga dia naik, so I'm short of 0.1 now. So I could easily just drop Shaw to any 4.0 or 4.5, and I can do this transfer lah, but with -4, okay? Or I could do keep Sa but take out Benrahma, and then I have the money. And I don't need to take -4, but I keep Sa. What do you think?
You keep Sar and then what? Sorry?
Take out Benrahma.
And bring in Havertz.
Havertz lah.
I think it's a better option because at the end of the day, you still have Antonio for if you still fancy West Ham. So and I think I mentioned earlier that I think Watford can score against Everton. So
That's
I'm
right.
trying.
I see Sa as still a talisman for Watford team, although Watford might not be performing at the very best in terms of attacking. Ben Rama yang aku risau tu bukan risau lah. I mean in my thinking Ben Rama Spurs West Ham is playing at home against Spurs, so playing at home is better than away lah to me. Okay, and I would rather have another chance for Ben Rama to perform if he can this week. But I need to take -4. The other thing that I can do is bring in Kane, yeah. Okay, say lah I bring in Kane. Ini memang payah sikit lah kalau Kane. Lagi banyak duit nak kena bawa masuk. Okay. And Kane and Havertz for Ben Rama. But I shot 1.3. If I take out Shaw, I could bring 4.0 player lah. And keep Sa.
Yeah, I don't want you to just the second substitution be someone who you're not going to play.
I could do this lah. Another 4.0 yang playing right now lah, but it's actually Newcastle lah, Manquillo.
Okay, but at least you Newcastle player really.
Just really my fifth bench lah, definitely.
Yeah,
My
it's a
third bench lah.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. But I mean the thing is, but at the end of the day, you're not taking a hit to do that, right? So that's
this
why.
one I will take a hit because I want to flow my fund to Havertz and Kane.
Okay.
So which one is you feel better? Kane, Vardy, Havertz definitely I'll bring in, whether it's for Benrahma or Sa.
Oh, okay. So remove back your Manquillo and Kane thing and just leave Havertz there.
Yep.
Okay, so how many units do you have left there?
16.1.
16.1. Okay, so let's say you bring in Vardy.
Okay. Vardy, yeah.
Okay, so you got 5.4 units, which is plenty to play with, to be honest. Yeah. You can't bring in a Chelsea or Manchester City defender.
I could bring in Christensen if I want 5.0.
Okay.
But the thing is, I definitely want to play 3-4-3. This is my player. Tony, Antonio, Vardy will definitely play. Rafinha, Salah, Sa and Havertz definitely. So I feel better. I put some money in the bank and they put. So these three will play. If they say Cancelo didn't start, Livramento masuk.
Okay, but at the same time, you can just leave Shaw for now, right? And bring him, keep him on the bench, right?
Yes, betul. But Vardy lah instead of Kane.
Yeah, Vardy instead of Kane. I like this better, to be honest.
Okay.
But I'm assuming you're planning to bring in Kane at some point before game week 12.
If I decide this, then Kane will be in my mind on game week 12.
Yeah, but to be fair, you still have your wild card to play with. So
yeah, fair. That is another thing. So Vardy, if let's say for the next 2-3 weeks doesn't perform, I could easily wildcard. Or if I have some free transfer to bring in Kane and Son, I can do that. Sa over Benrahma?
I'd keep Sar over Benrahma because it gets to that point where, you know, if you're looking at tough matchups, rather than, I mean, you're not playing against Norwich, Newcastle, Burnley, for example. So if you needed to drop someone, you try to keep the main man of each team. So for West Ham, it's Antonio. For Watford, it's Sar. Yeah.
Okay,
so that's why I feel that, you know, you can get rid of Benrahma.
All right. You feel this a better pick? Aku rasa macam ada Sa juga, tapi Benrahma ni pun dah mengecewakan a few weeks. But in terms of statistic, Benrahma has a better stats than Sa lah in terms of attacking lah. And West Ham also a better team than Watford lah, to be fair.
That's true. So West Ham plays Spurs and Watford play Everton. So I have to consider the matchups.
But we all know Sa is a talisman for Watford, and he will definitely play 90 minutes, and he could also be on penalty for Watford.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I think he is. It's just that Watford haven't gotten penalties yet. But, and of course, Vardy is the talisman for Leicester. No doubt about that one. Yeah, and although for me, I don't fancy him to do well against Brentford, but popular theory says otherwise, and the stats indicate otherwise. So
Kalau aku tengok a few managers yang top lah, so called, I tengok Simon March, who has won FPL before this, he brings Vardy. Tom Freeman also, Tom Freeman dia bring Kane. Andy, I think dia bring Vardy in. So those are the option lah. It's just between Vardy and Kane. Kane cost more money. I could do that by taking -4 and drop Shaw to 4.0 player. But Kane has West Ham, Manchester United, and then Everton. It could be a tough run of matchup. Leicester pun nak kata dia team performing pun tak, dia pun still struggling, right? But Vardy is the top player right now. That's why Kane and Vardy is the penalty taker. So those are offset between each other. Vardy at a cheaper price lah. And he's the hottest asset at current point. I can just maybe not overthink and just bring Vardy.
So what's it gonna be, Hafiz?
That's why I'm leaning this more to Kane. But if I want to take advantage early, Kane at 6%, kalau dia meletup lah West Ham score 2 gol or 1 assist and 1 goal, definitely bandwagon akan start next week.
Okay, so do that then. Put Kane in.
That's why it's
I want you to have that feeling. Let's put Kane in.
Oh, let's have a feeling. Okay.
So
let's have that feeling. All right, let's have that feeling. Kane. And then these are 4.0 lah.
Yeah. Oh, how does that feel?
It feels nice juga. You know Kane is a trusted asset. Has been a seasoned player before this. 5.1 and lawan Manchester next week could easily score, right? Home.
Who?
Next week lawan Manchester United.
Vardy?
Kane.
Yes, I think.
Next week Vardy dengan Kane both have home matches, tapi Vardy lawan Arsenal, Kane lawan Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, imagine. I mean, I find it very amusing if Manchester United lose against Liverpool and then proceed to lose against Leicester. That this will. Yeah, I mean, it's really Ole is really under the cosh here. So, but yeah, I would still Kane against Manchester United is not as bad as it used to look at the start of the season. In fact, it looks much better now because Kane was having such a horrible time at the start, and Manchester United were on fire. Yeah, but no longer. It's no longer the case. So I think you like this one better.
That's why I'm still unsure. Vardy, kalau bawa masuk Vardy, I didn't take -4. That's all. Is Kane a better option? It could be, but who knows lah, because Vardy is the most hottest asset now lah. Tengok sampai junction ni pun masih berfikir.
So now it's Kane versus Vardy.
Yep.
+4.
Yep. Yeah. Kane, I had to take -4. Vardy, I didn't need to take. Havertz definitely in lah.
Yeah, because Havertz is something you want to bring in, so that's fine. I'll just. So I've said what I wanted to say. So it's all up to you now to confirm.
Yalah, my first thinking is Vardy, but Kane boleh meletup at any time, betul tak?
Kane boleh meletup at a time. That's true. And Spurs are more solid team. But Leicester are the team in form lah. At least in attack compared to Spurs. But
cuma aku ada terfikir on the wildcard punya reason juga. If I take Kane, then kemudian along the way Spurs punya fixture becoming better. So I won't take out Kane, and maybe aku pun tak tahu bila nak guna wildcard tu. But if let's say I use Vardy, maybe aku tinggal and then game week 12 I could quickly wildcard and bring in Kane and Son and restructure my team. That is another option lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think maybe not Kane for now and bring in Vardy lah. I think so.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I mean, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not keen on either for this week, but between the two, yeah, it will probably be Vardy for me.
All right, if I made it wrong, Vardy injured next thing, I can wildcard next week. That's it. So that's all my transfer. I will make this transfer now. Confirm transfer, yes, 2 transfer.
There you go.
Live transfer. This is my team now. Everyone can see Sanchez, TAA, Rudiger, Cancelo, Sa, Rafinha, Havertz, and Salah as my captain. So I guess Havertz is my vice captain. And then Vardy, Tony, and Antonio. My bench, Livramento, Brownhill, and Shaw is the position. Shaw will be the last.
Yep.
Save my team. Okay. I made my transfer, man.
Okay. Good job. All the best. How does it feel?
I don't know. It's a mix. But without taking -4, it still can be a good thing because I haven't taken any hits so far this season.
Exactly, that's right. That's the thing. You haven't taken any hits, which I think it's a good thing that you haven't taken any hits, and you're doing much better than me at the moment. So you know you're more patient than me, obviously, which is good.
So Luman pun kata keep Sa and Vardy. So okay, I think I made that decision. So that's all for tonight, I suppose.
Okay, so
yeah,
a couple more, half an hour more until deadline, I think. Was it?
Yes. You have more. You have that time to make your choice. I have made mine.
We'll see. I can't see myself making any changes unless some early team news says Ings is out for some reason. Hopefully not. But I do have a working bench.
Yes, I think you can still have chance to bring in Kane lah. All right. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you for everyone who's joining. Hopefully, all the best to you all. In whatever decision you make, you only have like 40 minutes to decide. The deadline should be soon, and all the best. Min, your last word.
Thanks for all the viewers. Thanks for your questions and your interaction. We really enjoyed it. We like seeing opinions. Obviously, we don't necessarily agree with all the opinions, but feel free to and as always, if there's any area that you wanted to discuss and you feel like you want to give a bit more focus on, feel free to let us know. Other than that, thank you and all the best for game week 9. May the force be with you.
Bye bye. See you again.
Bye.